CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Canada's High Commissioner and Consul General for the Cayman Islands, Laurie Peters, paid a special visit to Grand Cayman this week. It is the High Commissioner's first trip to the Cayman Islands, and while here she met with the Premier's office, the Governor, and various government ministries. She explains more about the purpose of the trip and the meetings.
The purpose of the visit was actually multifold. The anchor event, I would say, was a roundtable discussion that was held yesterday at the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce. And it was a discussion about the climate resilience of the Cayman Islands, looking at how we might be able to share some of Canada's best practices and expertise when it comes to looking at building smarter and greener, looking at climate infrastructure projects, also looking at renewable energy options as well. So that was a very dynamic discussion with government and private sector as well. But this as well was an opportunity for me to have courtesy visits and meetings with some of the key ministries where there might be some connections with Canada. And also to celebrate. We had a Friends of Canada reception last evening so that we could meet with some of the community here and see just how deep and broad those connections with Canada are. I had far-reaching and dynamic discussions with the ministries, the ministers, and the governor as well. Most of all, these were introductory meetings, but we were able to reaffirm and consolidate the long relationship that we have. For example, the financial sector. I think most know that the Scotiabank and CIBC and RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, are long-standing institutions here and in the region as well. Looking as well at the many academic ties that we have, I'm delighted to see that Canada remains a premier study destination for parents who are sending their kids abroad. And also looking at the areas of renewable energies and what other commercial connections that we might be able to have. This was also talking about Cayman Islands' capacity to respond to natural disasters. Had a very interesting meeting with the hazard management folks, and very reassured to know that Cayman Islands seems at the ready and highly responsive, which is always good news for us, knowing that there are so many Canadian residents and tourists that come each year to the Cayman Islands.
The Canadian Consul General also met with various Canadian citizens while here. She said she's honored to be Canada's Consul General for the Cayman Islands. Also making our headlines this Friday, earlier this week, the 11th Annual Student Consulting Program was launched, made possible by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Investment and the University College of the Cayman Islands. It provides free and confidential advice to small businesses while giving the students the practical experience they need.
The students at the upper level in the bachelor's program, it's a requirement for those in the business administration, management concentration students. They have to do this program. There are others who can do it if they decide to choose it as an elective. We do get the objectives of the small businesses from before they go out. So when they go, they will work probably in accounting, in marketing, IT services, HR, and they will actually consult or give advice. They are not supposed to solve problems. If they can, yes. They cannot convince the business operator that this is what they should do. They can make suggestions, but then the business operator will act accordingly. So they will go out and work. It is a win-win situation because they get a wealth of experience, and the business operator, of course, is getting free advice and sometimes practical help.
CPI Minister, the Honorable Joseph Hughes, says small businesses are a vital part of our local economy, and ensuring small business owners receive the support they need is one of the most important priorities for his ministry. He also noted that the program is just one way in which the ministry is working to encourage and develop businesses. Again, the idea is to partner small business owners with upper-level UCCI business students to help solve specific business problems for business owners.
What I'm trying to get across to the students is that by helping a charity, you're helping issues that impact our community from a business perspective as well. If everyone is able to leave school learning how to read, imagine the impact on our economy, on small businesses, on recruitment, on HR departments, with that one small accomplishment, small but large. We hope that through the assistance of the students, we are able to streamline our current processes and become a lot more efficient in how we deliver our services. Similar to that of a small business, our charity is ready to grow, and that means we need to look at efficiencies, we need to look at our delivery of services, our customers, our clients in the community, and with their help, we hope to be able to grow into a bigger, more vibrant charity that can solve these problems of illiteracy and one day be out of business.
One of the things that I'm hoping to gain is more insight in on how businesses really operate. So, you know, I work, and I've been working for years and years, but like many people, you know, we're working in a job. And so you're doing your specific role and things that you use to develop that role and to grow. But from a perspective of what it really takes for business holistically to operate, you know, what does it take for a business to form and to really be prosperous? What are the things that we don't get to see in our specific roles? But so that's what I'm hoping to gain better insight on what it really takes to operate a business. I think it's a good program for anybody, not just me. I think it's beneficial because you take what you learn in the class and then you're able to basically translate that into the working world.
Now, the student consulting program runs for a period of some 10 weeks each year. And that ends today's news update here on CIGTV. If you missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me this week. I hope you'll do the same again next week. Until then, have a safe and wonderful weekend, and bye-bye for now.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman's boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!